Good morning. I wanted to share some taper ideas for tapering. It's from I pulled it from a runnersworld.com website back on October 12th of 2015. And it's taper time. I'm just going to read some things from it. I find are very helpful. The final 3 weeks are the most important in any marathon training program. Suggest that every plan should taper during those final 21 days, which means we run less and rest more. It's time to chill out. Specifically, this is one of my favorite parts of training. Here are the specifics. Training. Last week should have been our highest mileage week. This week, stick with the same basic running schedule you've been following. Just decrease your total mileage from last week by at least 20%. Your shorter quality run, weekday runs shouldn't be much different than last week's, but shave a mile or two off your longer midweek runs. Generally, weekday training should consist of one medium long run of 8 to 10 miles, one marathon goal pace run of 4 to 6 miles, one non-running day, and 2 runs of 3 to 5 miles. Your weekend long run, 2 weeks before the marathon, should be a 12 to 14 miler at the same pace, not faster as the previous week's 20 miler. And I'm planning to do a 14 mile this Sunday. Except for the marathon goal pace run, the long run, all running this week should be at a relaxed pace of 1.5 to 2 minutes slower per mile than marathon goal pace. Avoid running extremely hilly courses, hill repetitions, or speed workouts. Now for mental preparation, think of all the problems that could arise and work through how you'll handle them. A quote from a sports psychologist, doing this will provide solutions so that you won't panic in case one of the scenarios does occur, and it reduces your anxiety before you'll know you're ready for any situation. So you'll know you'll be ready for any situation. Mentally rehearse. Here's a few following scenarios. It's warm, freezing, or blustery. For Tokyo, we've started watching the weather, and from what I've read and been watching, there could be some wind. There's a lake or a body of water pretty close to the course. So thinking of rain, cold, which could happen, and in those situations, you start out ahead of goal pace, which we're going to need to do to get out. If you're going a little bit slower, if your pace is slower, to keep in mind the time limit, because I'll be running a little bit slower than before, probably a 12-minute, hopefully. So I do need to keep that if I go out faster, how that's going to affect me at the end. If you start out slower, how are you going to attend to that? You slip off goal pace mid-race. Just thinking about all the different scenarios. If you have an old injury, what are your ideas when we get the runner's handbook? Where are med tents? Where are the bathrooms? A side stitch strikes. What are your plans for that? Nutritional needs. Taken a lot of protein this week to aid in the repair and recovery of muscle tissue damaged during the high mileage phase of marathon training during the past weeks. One idea is to shoot for 75 to 100 grams of protein per day. If you don't eat meat, fill up on protein from eggs, beans, dairy, and soy products. I don't eat a lot of meat, primarily eggs, but I do eat beef about every 2 weeks, and I'm planning to make chicken tonight. Chicken about every 2 to 3 weeks. And vitamin B12. to rebuild your literally run-down immune defenses and possibly prevent a cold or flu, especially because we're going to be traveling. Load up on vitamin C. Kiwis, orange juice, red bell peppers, broccoli, and strawberries are the most potent food sources. I also believe in anything that's red, so beets and beets. Here's one idea: stock up on lysine, an amino acid found mostly in meat and fish that will further help your immune functions. Wheat germ or a 500 milligram supplement are the best vegetarian options. I also eat salmon about once every 3 weeks, but it's primarily eggs and beans. And then one last idea is that if you haven't already, buy the shoes you plan to wear in the marathon and wear them on most of your runs until race day. Stick with the brand or model that's worked well for you in the past. And if you've already have shoes, make sure they're not broken down, but if they're already broken in but not broken down, not worn down. And so those, I have 2 more weeks, which I'll send next week as a transitional week, but getting rest. And because we're traveling, I think there's another component of this list of starting to taper, and that's getting all of our paperwork and packing, getting, if you have pets, children, getting everything lined up for their care while you're gone. Have a great week 3. Ciao.